What's up, YouTube? This is Team APS. We got a video on what cards do you think should be reprinted?
Yeah, we got quite a few actually. This game's gotten pricey, and there are cards that I want, so I can build decks.
Number one, MST. Come on now, Konami. Come on.
I'll kick things off with Cyframe Lord Omega. Just covering the elephants in the room pretty quick here.
I disagree.
Don't disagree. I think it should get reprinted.
I have 2 copies. They're worth a lot. And I would not have anyone lowering the value of them.
That's fine. But for the rest of us laymen who are poor, I would love it.
Let them eat cake.
Yeah, let us. See, the thing with Cyframe Lord Omega is that, like, it's generic. So a lot of decks actually need to be able to use it. And that's where the problem comes in. Because it isn't like one of these cards where, you know, maybe Cyframes are a top tier deck and it just happens that their boss monster is really pricey too. Nope. That'd be different. This, like, Cyframe Lord Omega works so well in so many things.
Decks.
You know, Shiranui. I had a friend and I was like, he was like, hey, what deck should I play? And he was kind of interested in Shiranui and I was like, oh, that's cool. Shiranui's pretty cheap. You know, you just get Unizombie's like common and all that stuff's really cheap. But then it's like, oh yeah, you have to have Omega for it to actually work.
And if you want to be really good, you need 2.
Yeah, and that's the thing, yeah, most decks kind of need like 2 copies, and that goes for many things. And it just sucks because like it's a good level 8 synchro.
And a little degenerate.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. And in my specific case, I'm actually trying to build Cyframes right now, and it's just sort of like, Cyframes are cheap. You check their prices, but then it's like, Omega, you know, it costs like $60. I don't know.
He's
I don't
good
care how
in
much it
any
costs.
deck. Really, just about any deck that can go into 8s. This beautiful card.
Give us another.
All right. So on the we're talking about synchros, someone could bring up Crystal Wing.
Yeah, we really that card.
Crystal Wing. Would you call it maybe the new Trish?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the new, just good synchro to go into, whatever that would be. It's annoying because, like, this card's like $70.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
$70 or $80, and I get, you know, why maybe Desires or something. It's not on this list, by the way. Yeah. You know, like, it's kind of newer, but I mean, Crystal Wing's been out for some time, and it just, like, so many decks use it, and that's why I think it really ought to get reprinted. It sucks when
dominant card.
It sucks when decks just need it a lot like Omega. Your deck can make it, but you can't afford it.
Or you build Wind Witches. Like, the Wind Witches themselves don't have to have a price tag. But if you want to play them at their best, you need a Crystal Wing. Oh, you don't need 1. Yeah, you need 2.
And that's a real.
And I don't have 2 of those, so
yeah, that's a problem.
I wouldn't mind a reprint of that one.
Mine's gonna be the Phantom Knights of Breaksword.
I've been waiting for a copy to fall into my lap.
A little bit more obscure than the first 2, I would say, right? Like, you know, obviously people aren't like chomping at the bit to get a Breaksword.
I am.
But it's still $30 or so, and I mean, something that actually I meant to point out with Omega too is that they came in like High Speed Riders and then Wing Raiders, and those sets don't get covered in the Mega Tens.
Nope.
So there's actually no telling, like,
there's a low
you know,
chance of getting reprinted.
If and when these cards will get reprinted. Breaksword is a pretty good card. Like, it's sort of a staple for like rank 3 decks.
Yeah, if you want rank 3, you want a Breaksword.
Not as good as the others, but like still pretty good. And
solid monster.
Considering how cheap Burning Abyss have otherwise gotten, like, I mean, Dante's are like $1.
I mean, they reprinted Burning Abyss to hell and back, so.
So yeah, I see what you did there. He didn't do it on purpose, I can tell.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway, you get the next card.
Let's go for another rank 3, MX Saber Invoker.
Yeah, ooh.
Now, I have a personal story. I had an Invoker.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yes, this was actually one I got from Paul quite a few years back.
Yeah, we had no clue, honestly.
Did it? You know, it only had one print, had a decent value. I traded that Invoker, and then
like Zoo happened.
All hell broke loose.
Yeah, and the thing about Invoker, honestly, is even if we're like taking Zodiacs out of the picture, this card's always actually been one of those like low-key good combo cards.
Underrated.
In Madolche, like, it can summon stuff, and a lot of little decks have like wind-ups. Yeah, UA, wind-ups, like a lot of decks can actually make use out of it.
Good use.
And start combos with it. And the thing is, it's only been printed once. And the thing is, it's kind of printed before the age of like Megatens and stuff, so there's just no telling like when this might ever get reprinted, and it's gotten up to like $60 or $70 now.
I thought maybe it was gonna get its time because in Arc 5, X-Saber's got a small little comeback, so I thought maybe it's time for that reprint.
Yeah, I don't even care about that.
No, not even a little.
My next card is Kardama. Now, not as imperative, like of a reprint,
it's not a
right?
game-breaking card that you need.
Like, it's not one of those things like, but still, like, it did come out in a kind of obscure-ish pack. It came in that, like, Duelist pack, right? One of those Duelist packs.
The one with all of, like,
Rivals
cards.
Not Rivals of Pharaoh. Battle City? No.
It was one with Marek's cards in it. Remember we played that game, you and me?
Yeah, Millennium pack, right?
Millennium.
Yeah, Kardama. And like, it had its kind of price spike where it was like actually $30 or $40. It's cheaper now, and not as used.
Well, Kardama is what makes it special is that it enables a lot of, well, not a lot of decks, well, quite a few decks to play to a whole another level.
You actually get advantage.
It means some decks become consistent just because of that card.
And like it's kind of like a slower version of Pot of Desires. So like if you're running a deck where Desires doesn't help you as much, or if you're a layman and can't afford Pot of Desires because we understand your struggle there too.
True that.
Then Kardama makes perfect sense, but even it's still like a little bit tough to get.
And it's a nice little. It's a card to. It's a good card to have.
Yeah, having stats in it would help.
Certain decks, if they can play it, it can really change the way they play. Like my Dark Magician deck.
Give us another.
Toon Kingdom, a card that's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, that only got printed once, huh?
Only once, and you can't. Well, you gotta say you can't play Toons without it, but there's not a
Toons without it.
Okay, let's go ahead and say it. You can't play Toons without it.
It
had the one printing. Toons are a pretty popular casual archetype, so.
It just really sucks that they printed it once, and then they had the gall to do with like Dragons of Legend Unleashed, where they like, reprinted a lot of stuff from the original Dragons of Legend,
but refused.
But they didn't include like Toon Kingdom, and it's just like, come on, Konami, like
they do better. Do better.
And they made like Soul Charge and all this stuff really easy to get. Mathematician even, but still Toon Kingdom is elusive.
Yeah.
Still don't have it.
I was actually upset they reprinted Math and Soul Charge because we pulled quite a few of those.
Alright, mine's gonna be Into the Void. A more obscure little card, actually.
I forgot about that card's existence until Paul reminded me.
Yeah, Into the Void, it's funny because it's not like a card you think about a lot, but when Upstart Goblin got limited to one, it got a little bit more attention because it functions in a similar way. Into the Void's only been printed once, and it was like a long time ago in some old set from like 2010 or 11 or something, and that's the only printing it's had. And I thought maybe they'd be like, oh, we'll reprint it in say Destiny Soldiers because they did Allure and stuff like that. Nope, we don't have another printing of Into the Void, and it's a card where you also have to have a playset of it
to get the full usability of it.
And it's like only kind of just gradually creeping up in price because it hasn't been reprinted and it doesn't look like it will be.
Yeah, I think it's gonna sit there for probably ever.
Would not mind seeing that.
Give us another. Next card. I'm gonna go Minerva, the Exalted.
Yeah, her for sure.
So,
prize cards.
We all understand because of Minerva's existence, you can't play Lightsworn anymore. You play Minerva. You don't play Lightsworn because if you don't have Minerva, then you're not playing the deck.
Yeah.
I think you understand what I mean when I say you're not playing Lightsworn if you don't have Minerva.
And another issue with her is like, unlike other prize cards, she's actually conducive to a deck. So normally, the prize cards will be just something that's like almost more celebratory, but it's not meant to be used, or they'll have that this card cannot be used in a duel thing.
Oh no, not this one.
And then we even had like Giant Hand when it was a card, but its effect wasn't great. Minerva's actually really good, and you kind of, I wouldn't say need it, but I mean if you want to run the optimal sort of Lightsworn tech engine, you need to have it, and paying $1,200 for like a super or like $3,000
for the ultra,
or like an ultra is unreasonable. I mean, I know like prize cards are prize cards for a reason, but it's been a while, so hurry up.
maybe once they finally move off from printing it as a prize card, they're like, okay, now to devalue your prize cards, people.
I mean, it'll still be worth money, but just make it where the layman can get it.
But it won't be $3,000.
All right, so the next two are actually not so much cards as much as just sets that conspicuously sort of have not been reprinted. I've got one, he's got one. Mine is the Secret Forces.
Yes.
Necroz, you know, Ritual Beasts. Yosinju recently got reprinted, but it's mostly Necroz and Ritual Beasts. Those have only got one printing.
Yeah, some people have looked at it. I tried. Trying to buy a set of Necroz even though they're not meta anymore, it's still a daunting task.
Yeah, it's still tough to get a hold of them, and the thing is, like, if Shrit came to say 1 tomorrow, then all these Necroz prices are going to jump, and you're going to suddenly realize they've only been printed once, and it's going to be like, oh wow, Unicorns are like $30 again, and you know, Brios are 40. And,
Unicorns even still at 1, so.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like if Necroz got a couple cards off the ban list, who knows? And same with Ritual Beast.
I still always wanted to play that deck. Never could, because the prices never got really decent.
Like in the Ritual Beast Tamers, you know, like Wen and Elder, all of them.
1 printing.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of stuff from Secret Forces could afford to, you know, get a reprint.
So my set is World Superstars.
Also an obscure one.
Yeah, did it mean a whole lot to the game? No, it didn't. But it did contain like certain key cards.
Yeah.
Star Seraphs.
Star Seraphs being
Sovereignty and
Scepter.
Right? Yeah, the chair and the
stick.
Yeah, the chair.
Yeah, those haven't, and see, like they're not relevant now. Not like hugely. I think their most recent use was in like
Cyber Angels.
Cyber Angels, which aren't like too big of a deal right now.
Really.
But still, if an angel or like, you know, some fairy archetype is to come out and Seraphs are useful in it, then they're gonna spike up in price, and you're gonna realize they've only been printed once.
So you can't. So either you have your copies or you don't, because you're probably not gonna pick up any new ones.
And the other card in there that I want to mention is Galaxy Soldier. It, you know, goes up and down in price. It's always been a useful card to summon Cyber Dragon Infinity and like ABCs and Blue Eyes.
Yuck.
And it's only been printed once, and now it's like $20. And it's not because it's a great card, but because you still have to have 3. And it's like, yeah.
It's only got the 1.
So, yeah, that concludes our list of things that probably deserve a reprint. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
We'll see now, won't we, Duelist Saga?
I'm holding out for that set in particular. I want to know. So, that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. Here's your opportunity to respond.
Yes. Team Apps sets 1 card and ends our turn.
Yeah, so it's up to you. You know, what cards do you think need to get reprinted? You know, sooner rather than later would be nice. Maybe in structure decks, maybe in Duelist Saga. Maybe by the time this video goes up, we'll have more information on that set and what's in it.
Yeah, maybe we predicted something on accident.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, would it?
It wouldn't.
So, that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. Give a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you really liked it. And
subscribe if you didn't like it.
Yeah, both. Subscribe and just hate us again in the next video. Follow us on social media. Check out TCG Player and stuff in the description. And that's going to be it.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
See ya.